Richard Pryor involved in all, during the filming?
Was Richard Pryor involved during the filming?
For about a week. You know, he was, that everybody wanted him to do Richard. And he wrote every line that I said in the first scene. Richard loved me. When I write my book, you know, I'm about halfway through it, and third way through it. Hello. I don't know. Okay, how did you ask the question? Say,
Was he present on the
oh,
set?
yes. You know, he was everybody's choice to do the part of the sheriff. Everybody except the two head guys at Warner Brothers. They did not want him. They were afraid of him. He had never done a movie before, but he was famous for doing you know, his stand-up act, and sometimes he'd show up and sometimes he wouldn't. So they were afraid of him, and of course Mel took him in to see these guys, and they promised that he would be he'd do what he was supposed to do. But they finally said, no, we're not going to do that. He hung around the set for about, I don't know, 10 days or so, and because a lot of times, more times than you would think, the star of the show might not work out just right, and they will replace that person. And he was hanging around in case Cleavon did not work out, and they would have to stick him back in there. It would have been a totally different movie. It might have been so much better. It might have been so much worse. We'll never know, but I love the guy because he was so good to me.
But you should mention, he called you personally
Yeah.
to get you to
Yeah.
be in this movie, in addition to Mel.
I'd gone out to see, you know, Mel called me at the fire station and asked me to put the fire department company in blazing saddles. I never heard of Mel Brooks. But I kept telling him no. I went out to see him and still told him no, and went back to the fire station. And then a few days later, Mel calls, Richard called me. I was at home and I answered the phone. Hello, and this guy said, hey man, this is Richard. Richard who? I said, Richard Pryor, man. Wow. I get goosebumps. A chill runs through me every time I've said that, and I've said it a long time. But I knew something was up. He said, we really want you to do this part, so come back and talk to us again, will you? And of course I went back again and told him no again. But the third time out, I found out they had a lot of money. This is early 1973 at the fire department. We haven't even talked about the fire department. A lot of you know that I was in the fireman. At the fire department, I made $12,000 a year, about $1,005 a month. And I told the last time out to see Mel, he said, well, what's it going to take to get you to do this part? And I said, well, you know, I make $12,000 a year at the fire department. This is early 1973, and I'm talking to a multi-millionaire, and I said that I couldn't put the fire department for any less than I make in a whole year. And he said, well, we're going to give you 3 weeks on the picture. That's $4,000 a week. That's okay. How much did I leave on this table here? But as it turned out, I didn't have 3 weeks. I had 4.5 weeks, and with a lot of overtime, I made $25,000. I went out and bought me a new Camaro. And then I was in California for 25 years.
I was gonna say, in 1973, that's like $1 billion, right? I think we have time for one or two more. I just wanna make sure I'm not missing anybody. Anybody up top? No?
One up here.
Okay, right there. And then I'll do one more after that, right?
You got this one.
How long did it take to shoot the film?
How long did it take to shoot the film?
It was a 6-week shoot and, a budget of $3 million. And I worked 4.5 weeks. I was just supposed to work 3, but I worked 4.5. And it was the greatest 4.5 weeks, in my career, I think, because it was something new every day, and I knew that, you know, I wasn't a star, but I was being treated